All right, back here on the herd. Oh, boy. Listen, this next guest, I've known this guy, I don't know, probably since I got here to FS1 like 9 years ago. And we would run into each other, and he was a little taken aback by some of my takes. I had to take him to school, you know, and then the old dog taught me some new tricks. So let's bring in Chris Broussard. First things first. The man, the myth, the legend.
You didn't tell the story. You didn't tell the story about how when you were a Cub reporter in New York,
yes,
I was the only vet that was kind to you.
That is 100% true.
Everybody else was blowing you off, and I was kind to you.
So I was this young guy at a newspaper in Jersey, and I was crushing it, and I had a couple job offers. So they were like, oh, we got to throw McIntyre a bone to keep him in. So I went to a USA basketball thing at Madison Square Garden, and I walk in wide-eyed. I'm trying to talk to people. Hey, where do I plug in my computer? And these guys are brushing me off, and Broussard's like, hey, young fella, takes me under his wing. Listen, Broussard is a great guy. I like how you're wearing a Jets tie. Your show's in New York. How are my Jets going to do this season, Brew? What are we looking at, 10-7?
Look,
Justin Fields?
No, I'm not going 10-7. I'm excited about Aaron Glenn. I'm somewhat excited to see Justin Fields. I think they will cater the offense to him. They won't try to fit, him into a square peg into a circle. So I think he'll be okay, but I'm not going 10-7. They're not making the playoffs.
All right, what big talking point so far today is this quarterback list that came out. I'm sure you guys are going to chop it up on First Things First next. But, Brew, I got to ask you, I had some issues with the list. I did my own. I had Patrick Mahomes coming in at 4, coming off his worst season as a pro. I had Brock Purdy in there. I love Jalen Hurts at 5. I'm just curious if we could get my list on the screen and you want to kind of poke holes in it. I mean, there's really not a lot you can do. I know you're good at this, but this is kind of impervious.
Patrick Mahomes is number 1. What are you talking about? He is in a category by himself, okay? I will give you, if this season he comes out and plays the mediocre by his standards type of football he did last year, and they win 10 or 11 games, get bounced in the first or second round of the playoffs, sure, then you can move him down. But until further notice, he is the best. Not much of a receiving core at all last year. Offensive line on the blink, and yet he still goes 15-1 and gets his team to the Super Bowl. I'm sorry. He is the best. He's the best quarterback I've ever seen, period. He's not the GOAT yet. He's got to do more and win more championships to get to Brady. But come on, man. Dude is number 1. He's in the category of his own. Outside of that, I'm putting Lamar ahead of Joe Burrow. If your argument for Josh Allen, he has been better in the postseason than Lamar. But right now, I would say I would put Lamar at 2, but I understand the playoff argument. I like Hurts like you do, but I get it. It's only 1 year. But right now, I'm going with Jaden Daniels at 5.
A lot of people are going
Jaden Daniels, the poise he showed, the clutch play that he showed. He didn't have the greatest weapons, outside of Terry McLaurin. So he is a special quarterback. Best rookie season we've ever seen. I put him at 5. All
right, let's pivot to the NBA, Brew. Before we get to LeBron, I know he's your guy. You've known LeBron in his camp forever. I want to start with Cooper Flagg. There's a lot of doubters. I heard some people say, hey, he could be Andre Kirilenko in the pros. I was like, come on, guys. Sorry, Baron Davis. Yeah. That's not happening. They didn't shut down Andre Kirilenko after 2 Summer League games. But Cooper Flagg is going to be the truth. I said he could be a Kevin Garnett-type player, obviously not the MVP right out of the gate, but I love the defense, the handle, everything about his game just screams superstar. Where are you on Cooper Flagg after 2 Summer League games?
Well, I think he'll be a better scorer than Garnett. Like, offensively, he can do it all. He can shoot the 3. He's got the mid-range shot. He can post a little bit, and I think will post better as his career goes on. He can, lead the fast break, can obviously take it to the hole and dunk. So he can do, I think his offensive package is way better than Garnett's, when you compare those two. But I think he can be a superstar. Like, his ceiling is superstar MVP candidate, and maybe winning it a time or two. I'm not saying he'll definitely be there. What I have said is he's definitely a star. The question is, will he be a superstar? And I get that he struggled in the first game in the Summer League. Where he really struggled was just that his shot wasn't falling.
Yeah.
You know, he did everything else well. He led the break. He obviously had the big defensive play and the assist while leading the break at the end of the game to win it. And then you know what I like, J-Mac? He said it was, I think, his worst game or one of his worst games of his life, right? What does he do? I like the fact that he clearly looked in the mirror, was upset with himself, and then goes out the next night and scores half of his team's points with 31. Like, that shows a dog. And people have questioned that, like wondered, does he have that in him? Will he take over? Does he let the game come to him too much? In that game, too, in the Summer League, he took over, and I like the way he responded to a disappointing game one. So, yeah, I think he is the truth, and great luck and fortune for the Dallas Mavericks.
Yeah. Fortune favors the bold. I think something nonsense Nico Harrison said. Let me just ask you, this just came to me listening to you gas up Flagg. Seems like we're on the same page. I'm going to ask you, Chris, if you're building an NBA team and I said next 7 years you've got him locked up, are you taking Cooper Flagg or SGA?
SGA.
Oh, stop
remember,
it.
SGA,
Come on.
SGA, stop it.
Yeah.
We don't know that Cooper Flagg will ever, and as much as I like him, will ever be the #1 player and lead a team to a championship. That's totally up in the air. And SGA has done it at the age of 26. Oh, by the way, doing it with the second youngest team ever to win an NBA championship? No, and here's the other thing, J-Mac. SGA still has plenty of room to grow. His three-point shot is nowhere near where it will be over the next 2, 3, 4 years. So he can get even better.
Wow.
And so there's no question. And look, Flagg looks like he'll be a good defender, but SGA also plays defense. Like, no question. SGA all day.
Wow, that's a surprise. Honestly, I would take like 6 or 7 guys over SGA. Wembanyama, I would take over SGA. Listen, man, he had a great season.
I'm not putting Cooper Flagg in Wemby's on Wemby's tier. Are you?
Well, we'll see after a year. I'm extremely close. I asked Rick Bucher, over under 1.5 MVPs for Cooper Flagg in his career. I took the over. Is that crazy?
Look, I said it, the ceiling for Cooper Flagg is superstar. The ceiling, I'm not predicting this, but the ceiling for Victor Wembanyama is GOAT. That's the ceiling.
GOAT?
He can't be the GOAT. Is that what you're telling me? He can't be the GOAT.
We're just in a different era.
How many guys are you saying could be the GOAT? Him? Who else right now are we looking at that
I know people are going to disagree.
GOAT?
But I do think, given what he's accomplished through his first 6 or 7 seasons, I think Luka Doncic could be in the GOAT. His numbers are going to be there, for sure.
The defense isn't there.
The defense is not there, but you know what? He's going to lock in this year.
LeBron, Jordan, they were great defenders, obviously, Wembanyama. So when you talk about GOAT, you nitpick, and that would be a nit to pick on Luka.
Yeah, no, the defense is not quite there. By the way, let's talk about Luka and the Lakers. Luka's getting a little skinnier. By the way, do you believe this? Luka's thin, and he's the... Are you believing this based on pictures? Seeing Luka at a Jordan party in, Greece or wherever he was over the weekend?
He did look awfully thin. I mean, it was noticeable.
Awfully?
But
what do you think, he's down 15? Come on.
I don't know. He's looked good in the summers before, right? We've looked at him, oh, wow, Luka's slimming down. But I will say this, I mean, obviously playing with LeBron James may change your perspective for a positive, right? You look at the way LeBron works, you look at him doing what he's doing at 40 years old, and I would think a competitor would say, man, I'm going to start doing some of that stuff. So that could be good for Luka. And also, he is entering that, like you talked about what he's done over the first 6 years of his career, and he's been phenomenal. I love Luka. But doesn't yet have an MVP and obviously doesn't have a championship. And so he is now at that stage, J-Mac, where until he wins a ring, there is going to be a little bit of criticism of him. Like, people will give him love, don't get me wrong, but it'll be like, okay, when you gonna win? And they've all faced it. Jordan, LeBron, everyone who has taken several years to win as probably the best player, one of the best players in the league, starts to get that criticism. and that can spark you to work harder. And so I think this could be good for Luka. He's getting a little bit of criticism, and so now I think that can spark him to work harder on defense, work harder on his body, and come back as an even better player.
Yeah, I'm trying to look it up, Brew, but it looks like LeBron and Jordan both won their first title at 27. Is that accurate? Right around there. So Luka's like right in line with that. It's not a race just you can get the first title. You know, it's a marathon. And watching Luka work, again, I know people don't like when I hear putting Luka in the GOAT, but he makes everyone around him better. The way Magic did, the way LeBron did, the way Jokic does.
Different from Magic. Here's why. Certain players he does make better. And same with LeBron. They make certain players better. But because, this is when LeBron was in his prime, because they are so ball dominant, it is tough to fit pieces around them.
Right.
You have to fit the right pieces around. Like Magic was different. Magic was such a great playmaker that everyone on the team could be the best version of themselves. You haven't seen that with LeBron through his career or Luka through his career. And that's just the ball dominant era. Some of these guys are just too ball dominant, but Luka is phenomenal, obviously, and so I'm just pointing that out.
Ball dominant like the free throw merchant, SGA. Anyways, let's quickly go. So I took some heat on Friday for DeAndre Ayton. Listen, statistically, just statistically, first 7 years, averaging 15 and 10 and shooting 50%. He's in a class. Listen, that's pretty good for centers, especially in this era where it's not really. They're not getting the ball as much. So I think Ayton is a steal at $8 million. When you consider Rudy Gobert's at like 35 mil, I would take Ayton at 8 mil over him. However, it's DeAndre Ayton. He was a malcontent in Portland. He was kind of lazy in Phoenix. Do you think he can turn it around playing with Luka and LeBron?
Yeah, I'm with you on that. Now, I don't know how far you went. You were talking about a class you put him in. What class did you actually put him in?
So the guys who are 15, 10, and 50% shooting are centers like Giannis and Jokic and elite guys. And again, statistically, he's in that
he's
group.
Not in that
but he's
level.
not as good as, nobody would say that. Come on.
Well, other than you, apparently. But, no. But look, otherwise, beyond saying he's with Giannis and Jokic, I'm with you. All right, I agree. I don't understand why certain people have panned this move to get DeAndre Ayton. It's ridiculous. People love the Mark Williams acquisition, right?
Yeah.
That they obviously killed. He's better than Mark Williams.
Of course.
Statistically and period. Okay? He's going to be a great fit with Luka. He obviously will be great on the lobs from Luka. And then he's got the short mid-range shot that is darn near automatic. I mean, he really is good at that level. What I want to see from DeAndre Ayton, his problem has really been his attitude, moodiness, his motor or lack thereof at times. I want to see him say, look, I'm playing with the best player of this generation and another guy that could be the best player of his generation in Luka. We have a chance to do something special. I'm giving my all on the defensive end, and then don't be so moody. Again, like Luka, learn from LeBron, his example, and I agree with you. I think it was a great move by the Lakers. I'm not saying it puts them over the top to win the championship, but I think it was a great move. And look, they're right there. I think right now you would say OKC, Denver, Houston, and Minnesota are better than the Lakers. But the Lakers are good enough where there's hope. Like, they should go out there like, we have hope that we can do something special this year.
If the Lakers get Bradley Beal, they're the favorites in the West. Let's quickly go to LeBron.
Oh, no. Stop that.
Let's go to LeBron. I have to ask you about this. You know this guy as well as anybody. He's been leaving breadcrumbs on social media for a couple weeks now. He's using Rich Paul to get his thing out that he's not happy with the Lakers. Not really feeling the love from Pelinka and company. They're showering Luka. Please tell the audience there's zero chance LeBron's getting traded. Zero. They're not trading him.
I won't say zero, but I am with you. I don't think he's getting traded. I think he starts the season with the Lakers. Now, if for some reason it goes terrible, would they try to move him at the deadline, maybe get him to a team with a chance to do something in the playoffs? Yeah, something like that. But I don't see it going terrible, right? They were 15-8 with LeBron and Luka last year. And J-Mac, the teams they beat, They beat Houston twice. They beat Denver twice. They beat Oklahoma City. They beat New York. They beat Indiana. Like, those 15 wins weren't against chump change. Like, they were playing good basketball. And that was on the fly, right? That was with a roster not built around Luka. It was on the fly. LeBron had to all of a sudden adjust to being the second guy offensively, and they still played good basketball. So you would expect them to be better. You know J.J. Redick has spent all offseason trying to figure out what's the best way to maximize LeBron and Luka and the other parts together. You add a good center in DeAndre Ayton that you didn't have a year ago. Like, again, I'm not predicting at this moment that they're going to win the championship. But if I'm the Lakers, I'm saying we are one of a handful of teams with two all-NBA level players in Luka and LeBron, and we've got a good cast of role players. Now, they need more athleticism on the wing. They need more shooting.
Bradley Beal.
But they're good enough where you can, as I said, you should go into this season hopeful. So, look, if I could get, and this isn't even possible because of the second apron rules and stuff, but if I could get, like, Darius Garland and Jared Allen.
No, absolutely
for
not.
LeBron, I would do, if I'm the Lakers. Now, you have Ayton, so you may not need Allen.
Those contracts are
that
bad,
type of
Chris.
package. Yeah, no, but those are guys that can play off Luka in the future and the present. See, Darius Garland, I think, would be good off Luka because he can shoot. And then, obviously, Allen with the defense and finishing at the rim off Luka would be good. So I'm looking at them as guys that will help be good in the present and beyond.
Yeah.
So I would do that. But again, that's not even possible.
It's not,
so
yeah.
I don't see the Lakers
Yeah, by the way,
moving LeBron.
when the Suns get rid of Bradley Beal, the Lakers could get him for $5 million. Bradley Beal is the missing piece. You could just go ahead and get the parade ready for the Lakers if they get Bradley Beal. I know the paper clips want him.
I am not nearly
Yeah, that's right.
as
I know,
high.
because you weren't out west
Beal,
watching.
First of all, I'm not sure they'd even get Beal. You know, obviously he's going to have a lot of options. But I don't know that he wants to go there and be, at best, the third banana. Like, he would come off the bench, right?
So? You want to win? Anyways, all right, Chris.
I don't know that. I'm not sure. I haven't talked to him. I don't know that he wants to do that, though. So it might be attitude issues. I just don't see that. Maybe a nice pickup if you can get him and he's got the right attitude.
My main man, Chris Broussard, he's on First Things First after this. Brew, anytime you want to lose an NBA battle, just holler at your boy. We'll chop it up, man. Have a great summer, my man.
I won't tell the audience. We used to have a whole segment on my podcast where I beat you down. It was literally called Knock Down Jay, and you were Jay. So what are we talking about?
All right, Broussard's the man. All right.